Hey guys, my name is Josh Kramer and welcome to this yoga inspired session where I'm going to take you through some stretches and exercises that you can do at your desk. If you're somebody who works in an office or you just sit at a desk for long periods of time, then this is the perfect class for you to really counteract a lot of the negative actions that you're doing throughout the day. So we're going to move through some exercises. It won't take long, and it's really going to help correct a lot of those postural issues that you have, as well as alleviate some of that back pain and prevent it happening in the future. So go ahead and get yourself set up at your desk and we'll get started. Jumping straight into it, the first exercise we'll do is a lunge position. So step your right foot back and place your hands onto the top of your desk. And from here, keep a nice straight spine, gaze forward, and I really want you to press your heel back towards the ground. You'll notice that my back heel is lifting up off the ground slightly and I'm on my toes. And as you do that, keep your spine nice and straight, slightly arch your back, and sink your hips down. So you're coming into this lunge position. You can come onto your fingertips if you like. The main target area that we're wanting to work here is our left hip flexor or our left psoas muscle. And if you're somebody who's sitting for long periods of time, you really will shorten that muscle. So this is a great way for us to counteract that and lengthen our hip flexor. Sink your hips a little bit more, lift your chest. You might also feel a stretch through your abdominals, through your core and your ab muscles. Keep sinking your hips down. Maybe you like to pulse a little bit. Draw your left heel away from you to intensify the stretch in this lunge. This is a perfect stretch to counteract sitting at a desk for long periods of time. Notice if you can get your right thigh to be parallel to the ground. So sink a little bit deeper. Your right knee should be above your right ankle. And take a few deep breaths here. A little bit of a pulsing action to help accentuate the stretch in your left hip flexor. And when you're ready, gently ease yourself up. And we'll come straight into a pyramid pose on that same side. So from here, place your back foot down at about 45 degrees. So your heel is planted this time. And I want you to actively press onto the pinky side of your foot, the blade side of your foot. From here, straighten your front leg. So we're coming into a pyramid pose position. You can come up and place your hands on your hips, find a nice straight spine. You should feel a slight stretch through your left hip flexor, but what we're really going to work is our back leg and our right hamstring. From here, gently fold yourself forward, keep a nice straight spine. From here, you should start to feel that stretch in your right hamstring. And lastly, place your fingertips or your hands on the desk. If you're somebody who's quite tight, you might just stay here. As long as you're feeling the stretch through your right hamstring, then that's exactly what you want. If you're somebody who wants a bit more of a challenge, bring your hands to the edge of your desk and step yourself back slightly so that you can allow your chest to move closer towards the ground. So in this pyramid pose, what we're working is our right hamstring. And if you're somebody who's coming lower down to the ground, you'll also be finding a nice chest and shoulder opening. All of these are great ways to correct and counteract all of the negative aspects of sitting at a desk. Keep pressing into your left foot. Breathe. Lift your kneecaps. Engage your quad muscles. And when you're ready, slightly bend into your front knee and come up to standing. We'll move straight into our other side from here. So place your hands on your desk, and this time step your right foot back. Come into the top of your lunge, heel lifts, press into your toes, and from here start to sink your hips down. Your left knee tracks over your left foot. Try and see if you can maintain your quad or your thigh parallel to the ground. And lastly, lift your chest. So you should be feeling the stretch in your right hip flexor this time. Slight back bend so that you can stretch all the way through your core and your abs. Notice if you really press your heel back, how that changes the stretch. Pulse and settle. If you can make your way through this routine at least once throughout the day, it's really going to help you to feel a lot healthier in your body, a lot less affected by the negative aspects of sitting. If you're somebody who has a standing desk or an adjustable desk, it's a great chance for you to tailor the height to suit your flexibility or your needs. You might choose to make your desk higher or lower depending on what your level of flexibility is and how much you want to challenge yourself. One more breath, and gently straighten your front leg. Come into pyramid pose. So place your back foot down at about 45 degrees. Find your position, place your hands on your hips, straighten your front leg, and find a nice, long and straight spine. From here, lift your chest. On an exhale, fold yourself forward. Bring your hands onto the desk. Allow your chest to move through towards the ground. Feel that stretch through your left hamstring. Breathe and settle. This is just a great way to open up all those tight areas of your body. Notice if you can draw your right hip point forward. So we're squaring our hips off. Three more breaths. You might also feel the stretch in your right calf muscle depending on how tight you are. And bend into your front knee and come up to standing. Our next movement, we're really going to work on opening our chest and then opening our shoulders as well. You'll also feel a stretch through your hamstrings. So place your hands on the edge of your desk. Make sure your desk is nice and solid for this. You don't want anything tipping over on you. And start to walk your feet back from here. We'll come through an upward facing dog to a half forward fold, and we'll make a little flow out of it. So with your hands on your desk, I want you to draw your hips towards the edge. Draw your shoulders back, look up slightly. Think of this as a shallow up dog. Draw your shoulders back, feel a stretch through your front body. And on an exhale, send your hips back, move your chest through and down towards the ground for a half forward fold. So we'll move through that in a bit of a sequence, moving on an exhale and inhaling as we arch our back. So shift forward and inhale, look up. Exhale, send your hips back, half forward fold. Move through that a few more times with your own breath. Inhale. Exhale. Feel the stretch in your hamstrings. Inhale. Stretch through your front body. So much of sitting at a desk involves rounding your posture. And what that leads to is an underworked or an understretched front body. So these counteracting movements will really help us to stretch and open through the front body, as well as strengthen and contract the back body with these gentle back bends. Press your hands onto your desk. A few more times. In our up dog position here, slightly squeeze your glutes. Come high on your toes, lift your heels up. One more time. Last up dog. And step your feet in front of your desk. From here, we'll come into pigeon pose. So from here, if you have an adjustable desk, you can set the height to suit your flexibility. I'm going to keep it at a lower height and then I'll demonstrate what it looks like to lift the desk up. So place your right shin or your calf along the desk and see if you can have that parallel to the edge of the desk. Find a nice distance away from your desk here. Lift your chest, and if you're somebody who's tight, this might be where you stay. The idea is we want to feel the stretch in our right outer hip and glute muscle. So if you're feeling it there, that's great. To make it a little bit more challenging, you can start to hinge forward, keep a nice straight spine, and place your elbows onto your desk. Notice if you're feeling the stretch here. If you do, you're welcome to just hang out and enjoy this. If you're somebody who has an adjustable desk, you can raise the height slightly. And what that's going to do is make it a lot more challenging for you. So you'll feel this a lot more in your outer hip and your right glute muscle. Another little adjustment you can make if you don't have a desk that you can lift up is just to bend into your left leg. So what that's doing is it's really placing more tension on that outer hip and that glute. Bend into your left knee and sink your hips down. Keep your spine nice and straight. We'll be here for a few breaths. It's important to take time out of your day to look after your body, especially if you are spending hours looking at a computer screen or hunched over a desk. The simple act of having a standing desk, which allows you to stand instead of sit, will also do a lot of good for your health. Take a few more breaths. All of these aspects that we're stretching and opening are specifically targeted to counteract the negative effects of sitting. Simple stretches that will make the world of difference for you. Gently make your way up and lower that leg off and place it alongside your left foot. When you're ready, bring your opposite leg up for pigeon pose on the opposite side. Start with a nice straight spine, and on an exhale, fold yourself forward if you can. Once again, if you have a lower desk, find your pigeon. If you're not feeling this enough in your left outer hip and glute, you can bend into your knee and really sink your hips down until you start to feel that. The desk is really an ultimate yoga prop. Take a few more breaths. See if while we're in this stretch you can start to quieten your mind a little bit. Remove any distractions. Completely be in the moment. And when you're ready, straighten your leg and ease that top foot off the desk. We'll come straight into our last stretch, which is really going to isolate the hamstring. Stand about a leg's distance away from your desk. Hug your right knee into your chest and then gently place it on your desk surface. Don't be scared to put your foot on your desk. If you need to, you can lie a towel down or a mat. And when you're ready, keep a nice straight spine. On an exhale, fold forward, bring your hands onto your desk. Flex your top foot, so you want to draw your toes towards your shin. Flex that foot, and from here you should feel a nice gentle hum through your right hamstring. Once again, if you're super flexible, you can raise that desk height up to make it more of a challenge, or you can lower and bend into your left knee. Do what you need to suit the stretch to your body. You want to avoid a rounding in the spine. So if you're somebody who's quite tight, I'd rather you be up here with your hands on your hips, gently folding forward. As long as you're feeling a stretch through your right hamstring, there's absolutely no need to bring your fingers down onto your desk. Be here for a couple more breaths. When you're ready, gently lift your foot off. Find a straight standing position. Hug your left knee into your chest and place that foot on the top of your desk. Lastly, fold forward to intensify the stretch in your left hamstring. Our final stretch of this quick little session. And these are just ideas for you to integrate into your day. You don't have to do them back to back. pick these stretches, and while you're working even, you can just do them one by one. If you're really flexible, you can grab your keyboard and do your emails right now. It's a great way to get your exercise in as well. Multitask. Two more breaths. And when you're ready, come to standing, gently ease your foot down. So I hope you've enjoyed that quick session and it's helped you to counteract some of those negative impacts of sitting at a desk for long periods of time. If you're interested in checking out a standing desk, then head over to my friends at Ergon Office. They have some amazing products. That's what I've been using, and it's really just transformed the way that I work in my office, whether I'm editing photos or videos. If you like this class, please give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Namaste.